Hello everybody, I will show you Evidence 7 how to compare Six Sigma, Learn and Theory of Constraints by Daniel Felipe Cubillos. Six Sigma claims that focusing on reduction of variation will solve process and business problems by using a set of strategical tools to understand the functionation of a process. Management can begin to predict the expected outcome of that process. If the outcome is not satisfactory, associated tools can be used to further understand that elements influencing that process. Through a rigid and structured investigation methodology, the process elements are more completely understood. This assumption is the outcome of the entire process will be improved by reducing the variation of multiply elements. Here there is a chart we can see all about the comparison about Six Sigma, Lean Thinking, Theory of Constraints. You can see the theory, the program theory is in Six Sigma reduced variation, but Lean Thinking remote based, and the theory of constraints manage constraints. Application guidelines in Six Sigma define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And Lean Thinking identify value esteem, flow, power, perfection. And the theory and constraints we can see identify constraint, exploit in constraint, subordinate processes, elevate constraint, repeat cycle. In the program focus, in Six Sigma, problem focused, flow focused, and the theory constraint, systems constraints. What kind of application guidelines define? Practitioners begin by defining the process. They ask who the customer are and what their problems are. And measure, next the focus is on measuring the process. Key characteristics are categorized, measurement system and verified, and data are collected. Analyze. Once data are collected, it's analyzed. The intent is to convert the raw data into information that provides insight into the process. Improve. The fourth step is to improve the process. Solutions to the problem are developed and changes are made to the process. Control. If the process is performing at a desired and predictable level, it is put under control. Focus. Focusing on the primary area of variation reducing process, other secondary effects too. Quality is improved. Process investigation produces the revelation of the value-added states of many elements. Some elements are modified, while others are discontinued. Elements are defined and improved. Mistakes and opportunities for mistakes and reduced. Some elements discovered during the Six Sigma investigation constrain the flow of products or service through the systems. Lean Thinking Theory. Lean Thinking is sometimes called Lean Manufacturing, the Toyota Production System, or the other names. Lean focuses on the removal of waste, which is defined as anything not necessary to produce the product or service. One common measure is touch time, the amount of time the product is actually being worked or touched by the worker. Frequently, length focus is manifested in an emphasis on flow. Application guidelines. There are 5 essential steps in Learn. Identify which features created value. The determination of which features created value in the product is made from the internal and external customer standpoints. Value is expressed in terms of how a specific product meets the customer's needs at a specific price at a specific time. A specific product or service are evaluated on which features and value. Okay, continue. Identify the sequence of activity carried the value stream. Once value is identified, activities that contribute value are identified. The entire sequence of activities is called the value stream. Then a determination is made as to whether activities that don't contribute value to the product or service are necessary. Necessary operations are defined as being a prerequisite of the other value-added activities or being an essential part of the business. An example of a non-value added but not necessary process is payroll. After all, people need to be paid. Finally, the impact necessary non-value added activities have on the process is reduced to a minimum. The next step is make the activities flow. Once value-added activities and necessary non-value activities are identified, improvement efforts are directed towards marking the activity flow. Flow is the uninterrupted movement of product or service through the system to the customers. Major inhibitors of flow are work in queue, batch processing, and transportation. These buffers slow the time for product or service initiation to delivery. Buffers also tie up money that can be used elsewhere in the organization and cover up the effects of system retrains and other wasted activities. The next step is let the customer pull product or service through the process. After waste is removed and flow established, efforts turn to letting the customer pull product or service through the process. The company must make the process responsive to providing the product or service only when the customer needs it, not before, not after. And the last step is perfect the process. This effort is the repeated and constant attempt to remove non-value activity, improve flow, and safety customer delivery needs. While Lean focuses on removing waste and improving flow, it too has some secondary effects. Quality is improved. The product spends less time in process, reducing the chance of damage or obsolescence. Simplification of processes results in reduction of variations. As the company looks at all the activities in the value stream, the system constraints is removed and performance is improved. And now, the theory of constraints is this is the means. TUC focuses on system improvement. A system is defined as a series of independent processes. An analogy for a system is the chain, a group of independent links working together toward the overall goal. The constraint is a weak link. The performance of the entire chain is limited by the strength of the weakest link. In manufacturing processes, TUC concentrates on the process that slows the speed of product through the system. The application guidelines theory of constraints (TUC) consists of 5 steps: identify the constraint, exploit the constraint, subordinate other process to the constraint, elevate the constraint, and repeat the cycle. Focus theory of constraints. By focusing on constraints, this methodology produces positive effects on the flow time of the product or service throughout the system. Reduction of weights in the constraint increases throughput and improves throughput time. When the constraint is improved, variation is reduced and quality is improved. Constraint focus doesn't require intimate knowledge of data analysis of that a large number of people understand elements of the system. Understanding by the few people with the power to change things is all that is necessary to therefore can be localized with minimum involvement of the workforce. And now this is similarities and difference between the improvement programs. There are some commonalities and general criticisms of all improvement models. In addition, all process improvement theories and methodologies make a few of the same assumptions. Improvement methodologies begin by taking the product or service configuration at face value and improving the process or system. They assume the following: the design of product or service is essentially correct. The design of the product or service is the most economical. Customer needs are satisfied with that design. The current product configuration fulfills the functional requirements of the maker and customers. The management structure support and nurses change. Here there is a chart when we can see all the difference between Six Sigma and lean thinking and theory of constraints, and explain what kind of problem like theory, application guidelines, focus, assumptions, primary effects, secondary effects, and criticisms. Obstacles to the improvement methodologies. There are major obstacles to the improvement methodologies. They address management theory as a secondary or tertiary issue. They don't address policies, either formal or informal. They don't address how managers are measured and rewarded for process improvements. They don't address the general theory of management used by the organization. They don't address the organization values. Okay, that's all. I hope that you can understand everything. Thank you for all.